revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down. Hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet.
The NFL is on EA Sports, and we are in Silicon Valley at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. It's a rematch of Super Bowl 47 -1 Harbaugh. The Ravens and 49ers are underway.
Let's go, Let's go.
At their own 21-yard line.
On the double. 50 seconds to Mike. Switch up.
Yeah, that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. That's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. And with a play clock getting closer to 0, John Harbaugh is going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Here we go, here we go. 180! 12.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Let's put that team on the puck. Joker.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a first down.
Here we go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run with Coleman on first down. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
11.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Tavon Young in on the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down. So Garoppolo off. Coming on is the veteran Robbie Gould for the 49er field goal. From the right hash, this from 33. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Now it's Gould after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses. Without
a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. He'll have a first down past the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He was trying to go back to Hollywood there, and it's 3rd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Check back. SOS.
On 3rd down, Jackson. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Breida. He finds an opening past the 40. A big play there for the Niners. And even 60 yards for him on the ground.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
11.
Mostert. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. This time, Jackson will throw it. DeForest Buckner, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Oh, boy, he got a favorable spot there. The guys on the sidelines were raising their hands over their head and clasping their hands to signal safety. But the official marked it just outside the end zone at the 1-yard line.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Flush to his right. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, 68 yards. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the... It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, 75 yards. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Gold with the extra point, and we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Check, walk 54, walk 54. Hey, pick your game up. Hey, watch that. Check, Mike 54.
Now Brown, he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. They'll run for it with Hill, and that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the 49ers are going to get the football back.
Here we go.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. That one good for 26 and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
21.
Garoppolo. Now he'll pull it down. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this is no good. Close but no cigar, just wide right. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So they grabbed the lead just before half with a clock reading 0-0-0.
How about snatching things right at the end and grabbing a little bit of control? What a great way to go into the locker room. It's similar to a boxer flurrying in the last 30 seconds of a round and stealing the round. Great job.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half.
Keep playing.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. D Ford showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. D Ford picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And this one is right down the middle. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This one was all sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Wormley able to get him for a loss of about 3. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. He's got a man, complete. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 24-yard line. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 24. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And not much, maybe a yard down to the 23.
Hey, gun.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. Garoppolo now. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Let's go. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like that.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his second touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
65.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. From the 38, Garoppolo.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. There's Garoppolo to throw. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 15-yard line. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the fourth and final quarter. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brings up second and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. And some space here. Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, 74 yards. As a